delicious again, Peter.
Here we go, what? Oh, hi, Manchester. Welcome to another live edition of Manchsterdam. I'm your host, Joel Moose Elber, and I'm here with my two regular on Wednesday night characters. To my right, Don T. Tibbetts.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Peter White.
Present.
And, boy, we are all geared up for the show tonight. A lot to talk about. Especially yesterday's election.
Actually, I'm tired.
Oh, yeah, we had a big night last night. We'll talk about that. Before we start, guys, I want to open up the phones ASAP. That's 413-0223. I'll repeat that, 413-0223.
You're opening
Nice.
up the phone lines now.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Absolutely.
So the big election, what do you think?
I still can't believe it.
Tight race.
A tight
for the mayor.
race, and it was, what can I say? It's a battle out there, and unfortunately, 75 votes.
85.
85.
It's up
That's
to
right,
85
because he
now.
picked up another 10 today.
I think it's
and,
the official in the mayor's race is 85 votes.
85. Yeah. So right
Well,
now,
it wasn't official last night.
No.
You think there'll be a recount? You think
know,
Joyce Craig does a recount?
If I was her, I would.
Well, Mayor Gatzis probably
to
would
see-
too
just to
if it went the other way
see,
around.
yeah.
What do you think?
I'm,
But,
85 is a lot to vote, but but when you're, if 12 wards is, it won't be impossible, but you know what?
Well, it's almost next to
think,
impossible.
I think she'll do it.
You think she's gonna?
Yeah.
You
If
think
they-
you think they're gonna overturn? You think it's
No. She'll ask for the recount, and either
When you do a recount, it goes either way.
Yeah, either way, exactly. Either
I
you
mean, if
pick
they
up
were
votes
off,
or
if they were off 10 votes a ward, that's 120 votes right there.
yeah. Well, don't forget, in a couple of wards, the machines broke down, so I don't know if that's a
I
fact.
did not know that.
Did you guys
Yeah.
notice? You voted yesterday, T. I assume.
yeah.
Did you notice that it wasn't the Sharpies that we usually use to vote? It was a pen, so you were in the voting booth a little longer because it took just a little bit longer to color in that little hole.
Well, maybe a
Little
pin was
circle.
right up. That's where you had it.
No, but they're usually markers. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're downsizing because
we don't want to break the tax cap.
so they got those pens at the dollar store. And they were
Yeah, we don't want to
10
break the tax cap.
10 for a buck. So every ward got 10.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it was just in my voting booth, but then I started hearing it from everybody
Well, no,
else.
It's all over the place. Yeah.
You guys
know-
haven't heard that?
No, I mean, well, I heard it
Well,
from
I
you,
don't
but
hear it.
but I tell you, you and I vote at the same school. Well, us three vote at the same school, and I didn't have any problem, coloring a little box.
First of all, it's not a box. It's an oval
Well,
or a circle.
well, which is it?
I'd like to
Well-
tell you.
Well, which
Well,
is it? Is it an oval or is it a circle?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's definitely not a box.
It's an oval, number one. And number two, at your age, you shouldn't have trouble coloring. Okay?
Yeah, did you stay in the lines?
I did.
Did you stay in the lines?
I did. Yeah,
But it
that's
was-
my pet peeve. When I was a kid, I'm telling you, I was a genius.
Oh,
When
really?
it came to that, yeah.
You were a genius when
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes to coloring books?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, okay. Hi, caller. You're first tonight on Manchsterdam.
Well, thank you for having me. This is Glenn Willett.
Glad.
I do want to say that those pens were ridiculous. They got them at some discount store for sure. I worked at the polls, and everybody who came in to put the ballots in the machine complained about it. The reason why they were supposed to be using the felt marks was because the machine reads them better. A lot of the machines, even ours, didn't work very well. They
Right.
kept getting clogged because they couldn't read the ballot.
Right.
So when you're cheap on things, you get what you deserve. The problem that bothers me is that the city always saves in the wrong places. When it comes to your tax dollars for your service, the election was our elections. They use cheap stuff.
I know.
Have a good show.
Hey, Glenn. Glenn, you still there?
I do want to say one more thing. Yeah, I do want to say one more thing. Joyce should really have a recount, and I'll tell you why. Remember, 3 weeks ago, Ted Gatzis mailed postcards to everyone to apply for an absentee. You
Right.
have to have 4 reasons in the state law to apply for absentees. If they find 100 votes of people who voted illegally absentee, she gets the election. It's fraud.
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing. Is that wow?
okay.
Glenn, are you going to be talking about this on your show tomorrow?
I certainly will.
Okay. When can people watch your show?
It's from 4 to 5 tomorrow, and I'm going to read the law on absentees.
Wow.
Hey, Glenn, yesterday, what ward did you work out of?
Ward 3, and I won my election, by the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, we saw
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
I am still, this is my 4th term as a selectman, and I am still the only independent elected official as a selectman who is independent.
Very
Wow.
In the state
good.
of New Hampshire.
Wow.
The
That's
state needs to change its laws.
all right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
Good enough. Thanks, Glenn. Have a good night.
From the People's Mayor, Glenn Willett.
Well, tomorrow, 4 to 5. Boy, that was
I'll
a
tell you
strong
what,
statement he
and
said.
I said it earlier today. I did another.
You have to understand, that's another ploy, maybe, that was put in for the election. You
Oh, I'm
have
telling
the
you.
Sharpies.
I talked to
No.
Glenn earlier today. I did another show here at the station. And I'll tell you what, when I talked to him, the guy's a plethora of information. Almost too much information. He knows what he's talking about, believe it or not.
Well, that's why he runs for mayor.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying, wow. Can you believe that? That was legit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Glenn knows. You can call like Mr. Manchester. Because, like you said, he knows a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Manchester. is
Mr.
that-
Manchester. Mr. Manchester, Glenn Olet.
Oh,
In 2017, get him on the ballot.
for what?
Mayor again, I guess.
Oh. No, Glenn. Check out Glenn Millett's show tomorrow at 4.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
Yeah. So, but I think Joyce does the recount, and like we talked about earlier, the votes can, go, for or against, but it's
Got to do it.
if I was her, I would do it.
Let me ask you this, T.
I
I'm
would.
sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
no
in our ward, Ward 12, like Joel said, we all voted the same place. It was for
Northwest.
alderman. It was Keith Hirschman against Leo Bernier, and we'll talk about our Halloween day in a second. But I went over to Tibbetts' house on Halloween, and I noticed a Hirschman sign, and I said, "Wow."
Yeah.
And I told him, and he flipped his lid.
I was like a wild Comanche. Why a Hirschman sign?
He was in front of my house.
No, but really, because
looking
Leo
at the
Bernier
thing.
didn't go around to houses.
No.
He did not go around
No.
to. He didn't do any work.
And I know him and Connie work well together, and I'll put up anybody's sign.
This must be it.
I'm wide open.
This-
If you want a sign, I'll put it up.
This is Bernier right here.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, you're next to Amsterdam. Get a caller.
Hi, I'm a registered Democrat. I always have been.
Okay.
And I got a letter in the mail, big letter, not a postcard, telling me don't forget to go get my absentee ballot. Because
Right.
in case it's bad weather, I won't have to go out. I live across the street from where I vote. I thought that was... everybody I know got one of those things. Don't forget your absentee ballot. Isn't that, desperate for Gatzis to do that? Send them out to Democrats?
Well, I'm not sure. I think there was a lot of desperation. The plane flying over all
Yes.
the wards.
I didn't see that, but I got the same thing, and I thought he just sent it to me because, I called him a moron. So I thought it was different. But
No,
I
but
guess
there,
I
like
didn't
what
realize
Glenn's
that.
talking about, if there's, how are you going to prove that though? How do you prove it?
Well, you count, and then you find out. Because it's going to say absentee ballot.
And Glenn, I think said the law says there has to be 4 or
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think you think the plane helped Gatzis win?
I don't
never
know.
saw the plane. What plane are you guys talking
Oh,
about?
there was a plane flying over.
Seaplane.
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, someone said that. Someone said that at the polls in Ward 10. Might have been Bill Barry.
Oh.
You got to the rescue. So what? They had a banner behind it? Is that what
Yeah.
it was? One of them planes? So it wasn't a smoking plane that wrote
No,
gases.
no. It was
Okay,
it had
a
the
banner thing,
had the
like you see
banner
at the beach. Okay,
But flying over, I was
Yeah.
I was over in I stayed on the west side, believe it or not. I went to Ward 12 and voted, talked to everyone over there, and then I went to Ward 11. Norm Gamache, congratulations, Norm Gamache,
Yeah.
over in Ward
Yeah.
11.
yeah, no, it's great.
And then I spent the day over at Ward 10 helping Bill Barry.
Good.
So it was fun.
Yeah.
Always good. Bill Barry, good lunches over at the polls, all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Great guy.
So Halloween.
So-
Congrats.
Halloween was great.
Halloween, I went over to, you were gone. I don't know, what were you doing on Halloween, on Saturday?
I went to visit my mom.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I
every
go-
Saturday.
Around 4 o'clock, I was tired of sitting around the house. Everyone was doing something, and I'm just sitting there watching TV. And he had called me earlier. Said, come on by. We'll pass out candy to the kids. I said, okay, thanks for the invite. Didn't say I was coming or not. And then started texting him, and I'm not getting any text back. So anyway, I went over his house.
Well, I had trouble with my phone. We'll talk about that later.
Yes, the rice.
Oh, yeah.
But-
yeah.
We gave out candy, me and T and his wife, and it was hilarious. T had the PA system hooked up.
So we're scaring kids.
We weren't trying to scare the
they
kids because there were teenagers and there were little kids, but we would go, I dare you to come to this house.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the lines.
And then there was this one guy, and the three of us, his wife and myself and T. Remember the chicken?
Baseball bat.
The chicken with the
had
baseball bat.
Baseball bat, yeah.
And it was an older person,
Well, he was
Tall.
tall enough to be an older person.
and he was by himself, and he had a
Could have
real
been,
Louisville
18, he was
slugger,
so tall.
a Louisville
He
slugger.
had a real baseball bat and the chicken hat.
So Mrs. T goes to says, "Wow, how old are you, there, big guy?"
No, remember when he came up?
Well, I know that's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
And he wouldn't answer. She goes, "How old are you, there, big guy?" And I think he just holds up his cell phone, and it says "trick or treat"
On the cell phone.
on the cell phone. So we're all like,
Hello.
"Okay, just give him some candy," but we all watched him walk up
Oh,
the
yeah.
street, and that was strange.
By himself.
That was
Yeah.
strange.
We'll read about him in the paper later.
Well, I thought that too, but
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see anything on Manchester Inklink.
He'll be a German side guy or something. Jeez.
So you were at the nursing home on Halloween. How'd that go?
Good.
Yeah, any
Good.
Halloween stuff
They
going
dress
on?
there, don't they?
They had the big party Friday,
Oh, okay.
so I missed it by a day.
Wow.
So, but
So you
but,
went dressed as yourself?
No, as a matter of fact, I had a nice bright orange. I was a pumpkin.
Oh, not a con?
No, I was a regular
bright orange.
yeah,
the cons
orange.
wear
Yeah,
when they're
yeah.
in jail, but it said you were a pumpkin. So I understand now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I know you're a big school guy, of course. Obviously, a retired teacher. What do you think of the school board at-large nominees? We got Nancy Tessier and Richard Gerard.
Jesus Christ, your
you
mustache
kidding?
was flat.
Tess will do something, but Gerard, all he's going to do is the same thing he always does. Try and stir things up, cause controversy. Holy cow, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd hate to be. I feel bad.
I don't see him helping Manchester.
I feel bad for that school board because now the meetings are going to be long.
Who knows?
Nothing's going to get done.
Well,
It's going to piss Dr. Avard off.
somebody
And
might
he's
take
gonna,
his
like-
legs out. Who knows? We
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be.
But I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
if you-
Yeah.
if you're running for something like that, it's to help the city, not to help yourself.
Right, exactly.
we'll
Exactly.
see.
So you think it's because he wants to help himself.
He's got to, his Facebook thing's not doing that well, and I don't know. It just is throughout his history here in the city, he hasn't really.
Well, they call him Stinky.
Well,
I can't believe he won.
You know who gave him
first
that?
of all.
You know where the name Stinky comes from? It comes from, I believe, and I don't know if this is urban legend, but I think the name Stinky for Rich Gerard comes from former Alderman Bill Cashin.
Wow.
Something to do during a Wyzoric. I could be wrong, but that's. I think that's where the name came from.
That most certainly could be true. But I'll tell you, yeah, he's in, so you got to let it roll now.
That would be like, you should run for, do you ever think about running for anything?
Yeah, but somebody would die.
You'd be great out there.
I only
too.
have so much patience for these people nowadays that have no common sense, which is one reason I retired, because now there's administration people that still have careers.
Right.
But, I can't do that.
But let me ask you this: when you were teaching, were you outspoken about things
very.
within your peers? Like us kids didn't really see it, but I mean,
no,
amongst your
I
peers,
never let the kids, find out about any of that baloney. But no, I was in people's faces.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, because you're supposed to be doing a certain job. Why aren't you doing it? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, for example, one of the things that I was very ballistic about was when the assistant principals decided, you sent a discipline slip in for whatever it was. Discipline, cutting, whatever.
Yeah.
And they send it back to you and it says VR on it. I go, what the heck is this VR crap over? Oh, verbal reprimand. Verbal reprimand? You don't think I gave the kid a verbal reprimand, you meat hook? The kid didn't do it, and he's in trouble. Give him the punishment. That's why I sent it to you. Give him the punishment. Don't tell me you're giving him a verbal reprimand. You let the kid off again? Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's driving you crazy.
Oh, no. My last 3 years, I was ballistic with the way things were going with the discipline. And another reason why I retired. Why I had to get out, because... you're not going to toe the line. You're not going to, back up teachers. You're going to be wimpy when it comes to discipline. Oh.
All right, we got another caller. Hi, you're next tonight on Manchsterdam.
You're on the air.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. T. I believe your wife delivered my child. Could that be possible? Was she a delivery nurse at Elliott Hospital?
She did work in the OB at you probably would have saw her there. That's a few years ago. That's last century.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
My daughter's 45, but I do remember her saying something about her husband working at. I wasn't really in the mood to talk, but she was trying to calm me down. She was very, very good to me.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you for remembering. Yeah.
Oh, very
Appreciate
good.
it.
Mrs.
And
X.
I hope your kids are great, too.
Mrs. X. That's Mrs. X calling from her spaceship.
Wow. Hey, before I forget, tomorrow, a big happy birthday to my daughter, Kimberly Elber, turning the big 3-0 tomorrow.
Wow, we got another milestone birthday here tonight.
Yes.
Also.
Our Kelly turned the big 4-0 today.
Oh,
You're talking about Kelly Belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Kel.
No, remember you're not supposed to call it. Remember you're not supposed to call her that anymore.
I didn't say it.
I know. I'm in trouble. Huh? Am I in trouble?
Oh yeah,
I think I'm in trouble.
You're the one she'll
You
hit.
could, I tried to get out of it, and I tried to backpedal and
You're
push
the
it over
one-
to you.
You're the one she'll hit, not
I'm
me.
not. I didn't say that. So, you're,
So
Kimberly.
very nice.
Yeah, Kimberly turning 30.
So
and,
30
Oh,
years
I didn't
ago.
know you have a Kimberly. I did not know that.
Yeah, I got a Kimberly. Yeah, you have a Kimberly.
Yeah, my oldest.
Yeah, so
Wow.
my older daughter and her husband and the baby and the babysitter going down with other friends celebrate the big event.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
30
Dirty
years old.
30.
Yeah,
Finally.
yeah.
Dirty.
They asked the old man to go.
Yeah.
I said, you know what, kids, I probably have a couple, and then I'd probably say, okay, I got to go home and take my medicine, my prune juice and X-Lax or whatever for the next day.
You take all that? You don't eat prune
You're
juice.
taking X-Lax with shots of prune juice. Holy cow.
Wow.
You're going to be regular. There's no-
You're
there's
regular.
no- hey,
Yeah, right now I'm
okay.
irregular.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah,
get regulated,
Jesus,
but
So you're
it's
saying-
working backwards.
Holy
Oh my
cow.
God! You don't really drink prune juice.
No, of course not.
You do take X-Lax?
No.
I've never taken an X-Lax in
No.
my life.
No, I know a couple of people that did it as a joke to, have
Right.
this brownie, and X-Lax was in it.
Yeah,
forget it,
yeah.
right?
I knew there would be a problem.
It's almost like drinking that stuff before you get the big event the next day, that colonoscopy. I mean, that's when you
Well, why do you make a fist when you say colonoscopy?
I mean,
Why do you do that?
Well, that's because they go underneath and take a little peek at you.
I don't know if they use their fist, Moose.
I think they use a camera, I think.
No, they use a rubber glove.
Oh, man.
really?
Holy smokes.
Not during a colonoscopy.
Oh, when they checking you out?
No, I thought they,
After you drink the stuff? Oh.
I thought they put the
Yeah,
camera
no,
there,
that's a
they look
different-
on the
yeah, yeah,
X-ray,
yeah.
and
That's a different thing. I thought it was the other one.
So,
I know.
So yeah, we do
Wow.
have something coming up shortly, right here at the 10:30 hour, and I'll introduce it in a second when everything's ready to go. But
we're gonna take a break.
Well, first, let me just say, Billy Pappas, okay, he's in UNH basketball history.
All right.
Him and Al McLean, they were honored because, of course, they both had outstanding careers as UNH Wildcats. And it's nice to see Billy get another accolade because the guy was an outstanding athlete here in Manchester, New Hampshire, and, of course, on to UNH.
Yeah, is that the picture? He's right next to Lou. On that
No.
one there? Okay.
No, Stan
okay.
Sparrow's next to him on this one, and,
okay.
of course, the kid
like
McLean.
that. Can you get friendly with Stanley Spiro?
Oh, yeah. I just saw
I'd
him.
love to have him on the show sometime.
Yeah,
He's
we
a
do.
Manchester guy.
Oh, yeah, of course he is.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, he'll come on.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I'll talk to him.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
He's getting ready to be honored November 12th at the Boys Club, Girls Club. He's going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
nice.
as he should.
Yep.
As
Nice,
he should.
nice.
Are you in any kind of Hall of Fame, Moose?
No, I'm in my own Hall of Fame. I don't have to be in anybody. I'm.
Well, if you join the Mooses,
Yeah, the
he
loyal order of
probably- yeah,
Moose.
he might be in there. But
But you know what? I am on the Hall of Fame 3 times.
What?
You know, with the runner-up for Manchsterdam. That's my Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really?
Because we have the awards 13, 14, and 15. Nice in the frame. It's on the Moose's
What
wall
is he talking about?
and everything else.
Oh, the awards. Okay.
Yeah. What do you mean what I'm talking
Well, you
about?
said ward. Oh, you said awards.
Awards.
I thought you said Ward 13,
Oh, no.
Ward 14, and Ward 15.
No,
And I was like, what are you talking? That's why I went, what are you talking about?
it came back to him.
So, I'm going to tell you guys, I was on a show today at 1 o'clock, tribute to Howard McCarthy.
Oh, good.
Is this all ready to go there, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Great production staff we have here over at Manchester Public Television.
Don't.
What?
We can't do it without John Eric O'Neill.
All right, perfect. So basically, I wanted to make sure everything was ready to go. But we have a special treat. I was on Ward 13 today with John Hopwood, and I think everyone in Manchester was, because John's a political, he goes to those alderman meetings. He speaks his mind, and we just actually had fun on his show today, and we talked about Howard McCarthy, and we played some clips and stuff. But
good, yeah.
but I thought it was a great idea that he come in with a special news broadcast so everyone could hear it. So John hasn't been on Manchsterdam in a long time.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I think this might even be. Yeah, it's been a
There he
while.
is. He
Since
looks
summer.
dapper and.
Since the
There you
summer.
go. Wow, you're
And,
looking good, John.
He's,
there you go.
He's taking a little beverage
Hey.
so he can clear his throat.
Perfect. Hey, here's a special
Special report.
special report.
Well, let's go.
Bulletin.
And I'm actually-
I'll give you a bulletin. Special.
And I'm going to tell you, here's John Hopwood with our political activist, our special political, not activist, our contributor tonight, right here on Manchsterdam. John, take it away, man.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Hi, Jean-Claude Hopwood from Manchsterdam News. That's me. In a stunning upset, the disgraced Theodore Gatsis, who was forced to resign in the midst of a tough re-election battle due to the financial fallout from the mayor's office's acquisition of Santa's Village, unexpectedly won a 4th term while in exile in Aruba. Gatsis had been reduced to renting umbrellas and passing out daiquiris to thirsty patrons at a shanty bar located on a nude beach owned by his brother Michael. Preliminary election results revealed Gatsis beating Alderman Joyce Craig by either 83 or 85 votes, depending on a sampling of freshly printed ballots shipped out to Ward 1 after a voting machine failure. The discrepancy of the two numbers reportedly is related to the reluctance of the ink on the fresh ballots to properly dry before they were inspected. Voting machines went kaput in Ward 1, Craig's home base, for 2 hours during a busy voting period. Ballots were then put in a quote-unquote drop box to be resurrected at a later time and run through a new voting machine rushed to the spot. Craig unexpectedly failed to rack up the large majority in Ward 1 that she'd enjoyed during the primary, which likely cost her the election. Ex-KGB agent Anastasia Makarova, who was hired a fortnight ago to serve in the office of the city clerk on the orders of acting mayor / police chief Keith Hirschman, addressed the controversy at a press conference called to announce both her resignation as assistant city clerk and her return to Mother Russia. Makarova will be returning to her native Moscow, where she will serve as a masseuse and skeet shooting partner to Tsar Vladimir Putin. Makarova said that the breakdown of the voting machines in Craig's unexpectedly poor showing in Ward 1 was strictly a coincidence. Makarova then praised Queen City voters for resurrecting the moribund career of Ted Gatsas, saying it reminded her of the rehabilitation of the old Flaming Red Party bosses after the collapse of the Soviet Union. When queried by City Hall columnist Paul Feely of the Gatsas Gazette, formerly the Union leader, on whether Joyce Craig was accurate in describing Ted Gatsas as a dictator, Makarova said that while the once and future mayor lacked the testicular fortitude of a Putin, he did share the Russian president's predilection for lying, skullduggery, and faked outrage over valid criticism he turns around and claims is a smear on the motherland. She then said, "Ha-ha," expletive deleted, before leaving the Queen City in an Uber cab driven by ex-police chief Nick Willard. She visited the outlying towns of Hooksett and Bow, passing on information on Tsar Teddy's plans to illegally annex them for cash contributions to President Putin's re-election campaign. More news about former school board chair David Wibby, who created the ruckus that brought down ex-mayor Gatsas after the Queen City's poor excuse for a dictator appointed him suzerain of Santa's Village after Gatsas illegally annexed the popular attraction. A suzerain is a type of despo or overlord. Upon assuming the post, Wibby outraged Granite Staters by canning Goffstown State Rep John Burt, who was moonlighting as St. Nick. After Burt got the sack, I think there's a pun in there. Santa's elves went on strike when Wibby refused to acquiesce to their demands to be put on the Jager-Decker pay system. The final straw in the Santa Village scandal that brought down Mayor Gatsas came when Wibby terminated a village volunteer who had been sporting a Craig for Mayor button, falsely claiming that she had been let go for telling a child, "Yes, Virginia, there is no Santa Claus." It's the sad duty of Manchsterdam News to report that early this afternoon, a distraught Wibby took an overdose of dark chocolate candies purloined from Santa's Village gift shop, believing them to be the X-Lax brand laxative. After fleeing Santa's Village, Wibby wound up in a rest stop on the Kangamangas Highway, where he and Gerard at Large, radio host Rich Gerard, were arrested by state police for simultaneously occupying an outdoor privy. Protesting his innocence, Wibby claimed he was merely attempting to evacuate his bowels. The two were released from police custody when New Hampshire Republican Party Chair Jennifer Horn convinced state troopers that Wibby had had no idea that Gerard had secreted himself in the drop zone of the privy. Gerard promptly apologized to his listeners in the city of Manchester, claiming that the ordeal had made him a better Christian. In related news, Rich Gerard, the school board member at large electee, attempted to quash the uproar that resulted from his announcement that he was leaving his ego to the Manchester Historical Society by striking out that bequest from his last will and testament. Viewers will remember that, faced with the enormous expense of building a suitable enclosure to house Rich Gerard's ego, Historical Society President John Clayton appealed to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for a loan. Matters came to a head when Alderman Jim Roy and William Shea, during the special meeting of the board called to deal with the Gatzis resignation crisis, led the move to kill the deal, claiming that the cost of the debt service on the loan would effectively bust the city charter mandated tax cap for the years 2017 to 2022, inclusive. During the special meeting of the board, Alderman Roy was particularly adamant in opposing the loan, saying that the proposed deal stinks. Shea promptly agreed, saying there was a funky aroma about the whole business. In a magnanimous gesture designed to save the city of Manchester money and preserve the tax cap, Rich Girard announced today that instead of his ego, he was leaving his testicles to the Historical Society. John Clayton gladly accepted the bequest to the Queen City. John Clayton gladly accepted the bequest of Rich Girard's testicles to the Queen City, saying that Girard's gonads could fit snugly into a Wizard of Oz lunch pail, formerly owned by Peyton Place authoress and former Manchester resident Grace Metalius. The lunch pail, which features a marvelous depiction of the late Judy Garland as the Dorothy of Oz, which incidentally is one of Rich Girard's alter egos, generously was donated to the Historical Society by former State Rep Steve Valancourt, who recently was made a Grand Dame of the Order of Canada by the Quebec Parliament. As we used to say on the West Side, e cavai. Ward 7 Alderman William Bill Shea won his record 41st consecutive term. The 116-year-old alderman, the illegitimate offspring of former Secretary of the Navy Frank Knox and his Irish maid Bridget Shea, was first elected to the board during the Democratic sweep of 1933. 82 years later, Shea crushed his opponent, despite being limited to only campaigning at night. Queen City citizens with long memories will remember that Shea, who was a corporal in the Yankee Division during the Great War, was stationed in Transylvania after the cessation of hostilities on November 11, 1918. He was bitten in the private parts while visiting a brothel by a prostitute who turned out to be Dracula's daughter. A quick-thinking patron saved Corporal Shea's life by taking him immediately to a local moil. Now, for viewers not of the Jewish persuasion, a moil is a ritual circumciser. Snip, 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 snip. Upon returning to Manchester after being demobilized, Bill Shea was able to lead a surprisingly robust life, given that he was now technically a vampire. His good health reportedly was the result of blood transfusions obtained from frequent trips to the Red Cross blood bank. Alderman Shea today set yet another record when Mike Lopez, chair of Manchester's Veterans Council, announced that the centenarian, Joel, you should really help me with that one, the centenarian would once again be the Grand Marshal of the Veterans Day Parade for the 41st consecutive year. 41 consecutive terms as alderman, 41 consecutive years as Grand Marshal of the Veterans Day Parade. Can those records ever be bested? The political grapevine says that whoever wants to beat Bill Shea and become Ward 7 alderman would be better relying on a wooden stake rather than the ballot box. Back at City Hall, the fallout from Keith Hirschman's successful coup d'etat against once acting Mayor Joseph Kelly Levasseur continues. Levasseur, who had been selected by the Board of Aldermen to succeed Ted Gatzis, generated a public backlash after he continued his jihad against former police chief Enoch Nick Willard. Viewers will remember that after being sworn in as mayor by Chief Willard last month, Levasseur promptly fired him, naming Ward 12 Alderman Keith Hirschman as acting chief of police. Among Hirschman's first acts was having former city clerk Leo Bernier arrested for vagrancy and obtaining a restraining order against New Hampshire Democratic Party chairman Ray Buckley, who was forbidden from coming anywhere near Mayor Levasseur while bearing a rubber chicken. Levasseur went too far when he banned Willard, reduced to operating an Uber cab to make ends meet, from entering all 12 wards of the city of Manchester until he could show an adequate commercial general liability policy for his Uber cab. By order of Mayor Levasseur, that limit was set at $20 million. Lavasser had outraged Manchester by moving the mayor's office to the Valley Street Jail, where he opened up a new branch of his law practice, a move that drew the protest of Joyce Craig's husband, criminal defense attorney Mike Craig. Chief Hirschman promptly had Mike Craig arrested for jogging in Bronstein Park in violation of Mayor Lavasser's new curfew, which he refused to post either at the park or on the city website. The resulting uproar led to Chief Hirschman removing acting Mayor Lavasser from office after calling upon help from a particular labor union, whom now acting Mayor Hirschman has forbidden us here at MPTV to name. In breaking news, Manchester News can now report that Alderman Craig has joined her husband in the Valley Street Jail, recently renamed the Gatsis Brothers Rehabilitation and Recreation Center, Incorporated. Alderman Joyce was arrested for feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, and comforting the poor. Acting Mayor / Police Chief Hirschman said that such activities were now verboten, German for banned. Chief Hirschman said that all charitable activities are now under license to a private corporation that we here at MPTV are forbidden to name. The crackdown is part of Mayor Hirschman's new policy of banning all Democrats from any acts of compassion until the end of the New Hampshire primary season. When reached at the Aruba Beach shanty, Mayor-elect Maybe Gatsis, after a trying day of menial labor serving the corpulent couples that seemed to frequent nude beaches, said he approved of acting Mayor / Police Chief Hirschman's suppression of dissent. Gatsis was quite cordial until he realized that the reporter was yours truly, Jean-Claude Hopwood, after which he said, expletive deleted. Gatsis then went on to say that mine was one name he never wished he ever heard again. And that's Manchesterdam News for November 4th, 2015.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Special Wednesday night update. Wow.
That's a lot of news.
It's some great, it's out there. You know what I mean?
Reporter John Extreme Hopwood.
Yeah, we're on there. That's something. That's something. So John might be. That's something. What'd you think?
That's something. That's right. I thought one of the best satires I've ever heard.
There you have it. It was Wednesday night. Look kind of like a Wednesday night update. It
Out
was
of nowhere.
Manchsterdam News.
Let's bring it out to the callers at 413-0223 and see what they think.
Joel, for those of you that don't know, Joel used to do the news, and I think John Hopwood. I don't know.
Yeah, John did a good job, but in the past, I was the best of the best.
Well, he did political news.
I did political.
You had more. You were out here. You
what kind of news?
Do one type of news.
My news was
wrong.
No, my news was usually
wrong.
Either Manchester or talking about other states besides Manchester. I try to incorporate.
That's because Manchester is a city, and other states are different. Because if you're talking about other cities, that'd be like that. But
what are you even talking about, Joel?
I'm talking the old days.
When cities were states?
No. I'm talking about the other studio when we did the news at the other joint.
Oh, okay. Well, that was just in the other room over there.
No, I'm talking about near the river.
You didn't do the news back then?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I think so.
Oh.
Are you the kind of person who goes to McDonald's and says, "I'd like an order of fries," and when the person says, "I'd like to have would you like fries with that?" you say yes?
Oh no, I don't go to McDonald's.
No, he's mad.
I don't go to McDonald's.
Tell him why.
Huh?
Because of their false advertising?
Yeah. Oh, the latest. Good thing you brought that up, Peter. Now I drive by the other day. First of all, you couldn't get a breakfast McSandwich, with the bacon,
You mean the Egg McMuffin?
Egg McMuffin.
Okay.
Not until after 3 o'clock. But here's the clincher today, guys.
What's the clincher?
The other day, you can't get hash browns now until after 5. What's going on here?
5
5 p.m.
You're telling me they don't have hash browns at
Well, I thought McDonald's had...
Well, if you order breakfast, say at 1 o'clock, you expect to get a hash brown.
McDonald's has breakfast 24 hours a day now.
Right.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. So
I got hash brown like at 8. the other day. So just a hash brown. That's all they ordered.
Just one hash brown.
A hash brown. That's right.
You put ketchup on it?
Nope.
Just eat it like it is.
Raw.
Not raw.
Raw hash brown. No salt, no pepper. Just
I
give me a napkin. I'll be fine.
I saw a person last night that was sitting, at a of course, brought the
were you?
pizza. We were at Tommy K's last night celebrating. Dan O'Neill and Bill Barry,
To the rescue.
and then everybody else. That one congratulates them. But the point is that they brought a pizza over to the table, and the lady poured ketchup on the side, and she was dipping the pizza into the ketchup.
That was sriracha sauce.
No, it wasn't. No, sriracha sauce.
It was.
So,
I never seen that before. You've
never seen it before.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I
now
see.
we understand why the shock and the
Well, you put
hit
brown.
you in the head.
He puts brown mustard on his eggs.
Yeah, I like spicy brown mustard on my eggs. But again, back to the
No,
pizza.
Do you have any weird-
Paul?
No, that's the kind he likes.
Yeah.
Well, he goes. He likes that. He likes any kind of brown mustard on eggs and Goldens, which is brown mustard. But he says both.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, of course.
I like the good deli mustard.
Ah.
It's a little bit more strong.
You like
than
mustard?
that good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love mustard, yeah.
Well, I'm not asking you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need...
I like mustard, but,
I need mustard.
Not on your eggs.
I've never put it on my eggs, no.
What do you put? I don't put anything on my eggs. I just eat the eggs. I put salt and pepper.
Well,
Little
ketchup.
pepper.
People put ketchup, but I prefer mustard.
What about sriracha sauce? T, you got a bunch of stuff here. What do you got here?
Sriracha sauce.
Oh, I know. I got nothing. I just.
Oh no,
I
you got a million papers in front of you.
Yeah, no, I just was, I'm just, happy the FBI is in on the Denise Roberts situation.
Yeah.
And any of the friends.
What's
or
the latest?
people
You know, any-
that
any-
know her? I mean, you visit the tree that was dedicated to her right at Brookside Church.
Right.
It's a very nice memorial to her. And of course, it's something's going to break because it's up to over $40,000 now for the.
Something's gotta go. I mean,
It's just
it's
I'm
bizarre.
flabbergasted. Nothing has come out, but there's still ongoing things that they're not publicizing anything until they get a
That's
positive.
a bizarre. I know things get rough sometimes in this town, but that's a bizarre tragedy. In that.
Right.
That was.
And there's the other bizarre tragedy was the girl that got caught and killed in her own home a few years before that. So there's two cold cases going on in the North End.
Well, who do you get for a cold case?
This one?
You get Bill Barry.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's busy.
He is.
But,
and hey, before I
just-
forget though, congratulations, Bill.
Yep.
It was awesome. It was awesome being part of the whole thing too.
It sure was.
Bill Barry to the rescue.
Yep, that was good.
Yeah.
I donated enough money you could buy stamps, so that was good.
Nice. Over at that's good.
Taxi deductible.
What do you got, Moose?
I've been reading this. This is for Heidi Hamer, a big event for her, and it's this Saturday, November 7th. It's I didn't know that. It's a 5K starts. I guess it's a.
If you read it ahead
I
of
guess
time,
it's a little marathon.
Moose, that was
5K.
last weekend.
No, it wasn't. No, but it's called Mutt and Strout. Right over here. It's a 5K9 race.
It's not mutton strout.
Yeah, right here. Mutt. What do you mean? Strut.
Strut, not
Strut.
strout.
Strut.
Strut, not
Strut,
strout.
right.
See.
And a 5K to benefit the Friends of the Manchester Animal Shelter. So you can walk, run, jog, enjoy the day with the family.
Yeah, don't ride the animal.
Beautiful
No riding.
walk through the trails at Derryfield in Manchester, New Hampshire. It's their first annual 5K9. All proceeds help the animal shelter to take care of all the great animals at the shelter. So good event, November 7th. So get out your running shoes. You can jog, walk.
What's it called again? The mutton.
Mountain Strout. Strut.
See, you're strutting.
Yeah.
You're not strouting because it'd be like trouting, so it's a little different.
Right. Trouting. Very, yeah.
Strut.
The mutt.
Mutt and
Strut.
Mutt and Strut.
That's right.
Perfect.
See, that's
November
why-
7th at 11 a.m. it starts.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So
why
I want to
knew-
get
I
that
knew you
out
could
there.
do it. I knew you
so,
could do it.
hey, did you hear this bizarre story? A man Pops the question with his wisdom tooth as being the ring.
Wow.
Wait a second. What?
He might have been lacking a little
No,
wisdom.
what happened was
Yeah,
he got his wisdom tooth out, and you get a certain whatever. So his father saved it. So when he finally met his
wife,
fiance, he proposed with the wisdom tooth as being the wedding ring.
Engagement
ring. Yeah. And that happened in California.
And what was the result? Did she slap him in the head, or did she say yes? What do you know?
Oh, I don't know that that's all I know that the.
That's
ring,
why you need to read the entire story.
Well, okay. It says a California couple went for non-traditional when it came to engagement ring.
Well, that is
which he said
that is non-traditional to have a wisdom tooth as a.
He had the tooth removed when he was a kid, and his dad mailed it to him. Just what I should say.
Mailed it.
Yeah,
to him.
and the jeweler had then made the custom ring. The couple got engaged on Halloween night.
There you go.
Yeah,
it was a good prop.
It was. I mean.
Wow, and this guy could have been alderman in Ward 12.
Yeah. Big event. Another big event coming up. I think it's also on February 7th. Now, I don't know how they come up with this title, but it's Millie's Tavern Super Bowl Chili 5K. I know Peter's dying to take this book and throw it.
No, I'm not. I'm not. They've done this before.
Yeah,
they did it last year.
Yeah, this is the second annual event. It's Kickstart Your Super Bowl Sunday the right way and join us for the second annual Super Bowl Chili 5K on Sunday, February the 7th. Kickoff is at 10:30 a.m. The race swag, medals for top finishers, chili run, one chili, one beer, but the beer you got to be 21 plus of age, and a warm cup of chili. Post-race celebration at Millie's Tavern. Register today at www.superbowlchili5k something.com. I can't read my writing.
There you go. There you go.
So whatever.
How appropriate is that? Something.
I'm sorry. Racewire.com.
There we go.
So www.superbowlchili5k racewire.com.
Oh.
So anything else?
Well, there's a whisper out there, and the whisper is that Trinity will be winning the basketball championship this year.
I'm hearing,
Really?
Behind the scenes. I heard it from behind the scenes.
Okay.
I talked to the coach a little bit.
You said, is this a Class L?
I don't think they're Class L. I think it's they're all something else now.
We don't do that anymore?
I'm not sure how it's changed. But
it's divisions, though, right?
Yeah, it's still divisions, but there's Class L, Class S, Class.
I think they're Division 1 still.
Are they? Yeah. So they're still in there. Okay, thank you, John. So it is Class L then. Yep. So he's playing all the big teams. So that'll be pretty good.
And what I always like to enjoy is the Queen City Invitationals.
Yeah.
The after
Christmas tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are always over at Memorial. It's usually held, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got big crowds at those games, sold out.
Yeah,
it's
great
really,
competition.
Really good. Yeah,
great competitions. Oh yeah, without a doubt. That's wicked cool. That always works out fantastic. Yep. So just saying prayers to Mrs. McNally. She's going through a little medical thing right there. So if you got prayers, send them to her.
All right.
And of course, big shout out to Gary Walsh. We saw him again. He's an avid viewer of the show.
Awesome.
And don't forget do that survey and give all 10s and yeses. Thank you.
From where? Where do you take the survey?
Volkswagen.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yep.
Hey, you baseball fans, circle this on your calendar on November 21st. That's 2015 at 5 p.m. at the Radisson Expo Center in Manchester, New Hampshire. Tickets are on sale. This is a huge event every year. Autograph dinner, plus question with Jackie Bradley Jr., Chris Carpenter, and more. It's the Granite State Baseball Dinner. So get your tickets early. It's a huge event. I've seen pictures of it. I haven't gone personally. Take your sons, take your daughters. It's
Take anybody, is what you're saying.
Yeah, get some autographs, for the kids, yourselves, and
Or anybody.
It's usually
It's a great function.
Yeah,
great
it is.
function.
It
You
is.
been?
Great,
It's been, I've been a few times.
Yeah.
It's been established for a very long time. How many years is this one?
I'm not too sure.
It's got to be like 40 or
I'm
something.
not too
for
sure.
crying out loud.
No, I don't think it says.
Maybe
Yeah.
Mike Doyle knows if he can
Doyle
call
would
it.
know.
Yeah, Doyle's always.
But anyways,
on
it's
this
a great
sort
fun.
of stuff up here.
No one who has gone to that has ever been disappointed. Everyone has a great time there.
You know what I'm
Nice.
going to do this year?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to call the Radisson and tell them I'm press and see if I can get in.
They'll tell you you're Paul. Oh yeah, They'll
Yeah,
recognize
yeah,
that
yeah.
right
You
away.
might see the moose there, and
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
with a little press badge and have some fun.
And we have a big show next week also. Jeff Lorenz, a.k.a. Scumpy, will be here to promote. I think this DEF CON thing is going to happen.
Yes.
Oh,
I want to find out about
It's
it.
a good thing you brought that up. Next week, change of
Change the clocks back.
no, change of well, next Wednesday is Veterans Day, so channel 23 is closed, so no Scump.
Oh, wow. I just remembered that.
So
We just
we'll talk
found that
about
out.
that what
Yeah,
we're
we
going to
just
do
found
off
out.
the year.
I knew that before the show, and I just
don't
said
know
I'm
if
so
we're gonna
used to doing it.
We might tape
Yeah.
something on a Monday or Tuesday.
Monday,
we're not sure yet.
Tuesday.
We have to talk about that.
So we're going to have to push because it's your birthday, too.
Could be.
Oh, we got to push
Could be.
Scumpy back 2 more weeks because if we have Lou on, and then
We'll see what
Well,
happens.
So
we're
we'll
not sure.
see what
I think he
happens.
might have dated Lou. We're not sure.
Who dated Lou?
No, but that's great. I'm looking forward
Who
to
on the
some-
Lou?
Hey, they got a
luau.
on. I think it's the 24. I think it's November 27th or the 28th, playing at Chucky place.
Panucci's.
Yeah, Panucci's. Thank you. So catch
That's the
them
Scump
on the
thing. Yes.
Well, we don't know.
3 days
DEF
after
CON.
3 days
Yeah,
after
we'll
Thanksgiving.
firm that up.
Yeah.
There's
too.
people
Oh, yeah.
excited
3
to
days.
see DEF CON, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
3
yeah.
days after Thanksgiving.
Oh, I forgot about
Panucci's.
Wednesday. I didn't know that
Carl's
either.
back in town, so
Yeah.
Boy, Scumpy's really
they
gonna
got the
be-
lead guitarist back. So
Scumpy's really going to be pissed now.
I might go
Yeah.
to that show.
Oh, you got it.
Day after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's at Panucci's.
Wow.
So that's going to be a good take.
Sorry, Scump.
But
I don't think we're going to be able to get him on until 2016.
No,
No, I'm just
Oh.
we love
We'll
that. We
figure
love
it
it.
out after the show where we talk to.
It's a weird month anyway. We
That's
got
true.
Thanksgiving. We got all that stuff
yeah,
too.
all that
so.
stuff. Hey, say hi to the boys and girls at the Pint. Roy and the gang down there.
Yeah, very
You know,
good, very
great,
good.
great food, great beverage. Scotty at Pappy's.
Michelle at Garvey's, Laura at the Karma, of course.
Yeah,
Oh,
Millie's we
Always
mentioned,
very good.
Panucci's we mentioned. Anybody else we left out?
Well, it's Hump Day.
I'll tell you what. How
Hey,
about
Camel,
everyone,
how you doing?
Yeah.
how about everyone down at Tommy K's?
Yeah.
Tommy K's, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
that
haven't
was-
been there
wow.
yet, that's a nice. It
is nice.
Yeah, it's very nice to
Nice,
sit
have
there.
good food.
Yeah.
The
I like
food's
that.
good,
I like
so-
Grand Slam. I like that
Yeah,
pizza
you
anyway.
get a chance.
We
That's
went
on
to
Brown Street.
We
I
went to
think.
the new
Brown Ave.
Queen's Tavern and pub.
How was that?
Nice. Yeah, it was good.
The old
good.
Greg's
Yeah.
place.
Yep, the old Greg's place. They got a little karaoke going there tonight, and geez, we listened to a few people. They did an outstanding job. You know,
Nice.
it went from like Ozzy Osbourne to some new stuff I didn't know, but they sounded great.
You guys playing this weekend? Head shop?
This weekend, no, we're
No?
doing the Harvest Golf Tournament. So that'll be great. That'll be our
You're playing the
42nd.
You're playing the bowling alley. The
Bowling
Wed-
alley is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Okay,
And I will not be
okay.
at the show that night.
All right, but you can call in maybe. Oh, you'll probably be playing
Yeah,
at that time, right?
yeah, you are correct, Amundo.
Wow. Maybe we'll send a camera over there.
Why not?
We'll
Maybe,
send John Eric O'Neill over there to
Come
film
on
you.
in.
Maybe we'll do the live show at the bowling alley.
Why not?
Why
You know,
not?
bring a tambourine. Come on, get involved.
Yeah. I used to have a set of bongos.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a
bet.
tambourine. Yeah, I had both.
Wow.
Wow.
A triangle.
Kazoo.
All right, everybody. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank John Hoppin for stopping by for the Wednesday night update. That was
update news. I didn't expect that.
I surprised these guys.
Wow.
So
that
it was good.
satire.
Yeah, fantastic. Congratulations to all the winners in yesterday's election.
Yes.
Congrats out there. And like we just said, Wednesday, we don't know what's going to be happening.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on, as usual.
But you know what? Tune in at 10 o'clock, and we'll still be on. We won't be live, but something's going to happen. I just got that feeling. So, but we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And Peter, we'll see you next time.